There's a feeling most men carry around, but almost none of us talk about because we don't know how. We don't know what words to use. It's just this sense that something is off and we can't quite put our finger on it. We're functioning. In fact, we're high functioning on some level, but there's just this felt sense that things aren't enough and we don't know why. Today, I want to show you 3 places that feeling lives, and I want to give you something you can do about it. Not a philosophy, not more knowledge to carry around, action. And the third feeling might be the most important one of all. The first feeling is attached to who I would call the stalled man. You have something you want to do. You've got an idea for a business, something you want to change in your life, a new direction that you want to go. And you might even be excited about it, but you're not moving forward. And on the outside looking in, some might say it's a lack of discipline. And you might have even listened to podcasts about how to be a more disciplined person. Discipline isn't the only issue. Maybe you've already taken some action. You move forward and then you either pause or you go backwards and you just can't get momentum. If this resonates with you, and by the way, nobody's watching over your shoulder, you're safe. You aren't lazy. If you are honest with yourself, you have a confidence problem. Whether you know this or not, you are waiting for confidence to show up before you fully engage. You're waiting for that full green light to know that 1, you can do it, and 2, that it's going to work out all right. But here's the problem. You don't get confidence before you start. You get confidence as you go along. You don't get confidence when you succeed. You get confidence when you fail. Get up, try again, and just get a little better each iteration. Here's what I don't want for you. I don't want this feeling of being stalled to turn into a life where you're stuck. I don't want you to be the man who's always talking about things you're gonna do or you would do if the situation aligned properly, or once other things move out of your way, you're finally gonna go after it. People get tired of hearing that and you get tired of saying it. So here's what you're gonna do. You're not gonna burn the boats and go all out and quit your job and just double down on that dream. That's not what I'm talking about. There is something you can do right now that can get you moving forward. I teach clients something called the GROW method, GROW. And it's so simple and it'll get you unstuck right away. So the G stands for goal. What is the goal? Something I'm going to start, something I'm going to stop, whatever it might be. If it's a business you want to launch, a new habit you want to embody, doesn't matter. Just make sure it's something you actually care about. The R stands for reality. And this is where we are honest with ourselves. This is where I want to be, my goal. Here's where I currently am in reality. And don't paint a pretty picture. Keep it so for real. Where are you? I started and then I stopped. I haven't even begun. I've been making excuses. My goal is to save $20,000 and I haven't even saved $200. Whatever it is, just capture it honestly. The O stands for options. One of the things that keeps us stuck is we spin out about which way I should go. Should I try this first? Should I try this first? What if I go down this path and it doesn't get me closer to where I want to be? And so we just stall out completely. I want you to take a piece of paper and write down every possible option that comes to mind that you could start to go after this goal. If that's 5, amazing. If that's 50, even better. The W stands for which one. At some point, you just have to pick one. And I'm not concerned if it's the right one. I just want you to select one to try. Here's the best advice I can give on which one to choose. Choose the one you're gonna do. Start small. I mean, embarrassingly small. Start so small that if you told somebody the new habit you're creating, they'd look at you like, that's it? This is just for you. But here's what we know about habit formation. If we create these lofty goals and expect ourselves to shift from bad habit to this amazing new habit overnight, it's not going to happen. And not only are we not going to be consistent, we might actually slide backwards. So pick something small enough to start and then ratchet up from there. And let's just say you pick the wrong one, guess what? You have a whole list of other things you can try. This is how we grow. You set your goal. You get clear on your current reality. You look at all your options and you weigh them against where you currently are, and then you just pick which one am I going to commit to. Feeling number two is attached to the man I'll call the empty winner. You are a go-getter. Starting has never been your problem. You don't have to sit down and write out the grow method because you have a clear goal in your head and you have the initiative to chase it down. You have been stacking up achievements for as long as you can remember, and everyone around you lets you know how far you've come. Here's the problem: you're not feeling it. You have a mountain of achievements and it feels like nothing to you. And so you've got yourself convinced that maybe you just haven't achieved the right things. Maybe you need more money than you initially believed. Maybe that career that you chose wasn't the right one. Maybe you should go back to school. Maybe you should launch a new career. Maybe you need a few more side hustles. Maybe this isn't the right relationship. This is one of the most miserable places to be because you should be happy. At least that's what you've convinced yourself, and that's what everyone else around you assumes you are. The challenge isn't you haven't climbed the right ladder. The challenge is you don't know what it's all for to begin with. Do yourself a favor and lock this into your consciousness. Success isn't success if it doesn't feel like success. Here are 3 questions you can start asking yourself right now to start moving out of this place. Number 1, what do I actually value? Is it money, or is it the time that money gives me to invest in the things that actually matter? Is it hard work, or is it teamwork? Do I like to collaborate with people and empower those around me to rise? Is it acquisition, or is it actually generosity? The more I earn, the more I can give back and invest in others. Sometimes it's not about addition or subtraction, it's about analysis. Do I actually know what fills me up? And when you get clear on what actually matters, sometimes this feeling erodes instantly. Question number 2, what do I stand for? Where are my moral guidelines? What are the principles underneath the life I'm currently living? Some of us don't have an answer to that. If I were to ask you to sit down and write the 5 principles that govern every action you take, would you be able to articulate them? If not, you need to get clear on those. Maybe for you, it's integrity. I do not want to feel divided. I don't want to compromise for anyone at any time. I need to look myself in the mirror and be okay with who I see. Maybe I don't like bullies, and I look around the market or the industry or the role I play at work and I see people being picked on, and it drives me absolutely crazy. If who you are at your core is at cross purposes with the roles you are currently fulfilling, no wonder there's that tension. No wonder there's that feeling of conflict. Number 3 is, what does success feel like to me? Not what does it look like, not what have others told me it is. What does it actually feel like in my body to be successful? And if you struggle with what that might look like, let me give you a definition. Earl Nightingale said success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Would you consider your current pursuits worthy? And I'm not talking about worthy of recognition from other people. I'm not talking about backpats and attaboys and celebration when no one else is around, in the quiet of your own mind. Are your current pursuits worthy to you? Do they have a weight of significance that gets you out of bed in the morning? If your honest answer to that is no, it doesn't matter how much more you take on. It doesn't matter how much more you earn. It doesn't matter if your portfolio looks amazing to everyone else. If it doesn't feel worthy of the investment that is your life, it is never going to be enough. It is incoherent with the person you want to be. The number 3 feeling is attached to the man I'll call the island. You might be surrounded by people, but if you're honest with yourself, you feel like you're doing it alone. You could have a partner. You could have people you would consider close friends. You could have colleagues who highly respect you and the feeling is mutual, and yet you feel like you're on an island unto yourself. But you're not going to tell anybody because that would make you weak, right? No. And the truth is, you have sat in rooms next to people who have the same exact feeling, but none of us are willing to be vulnerable enough to articulate it. None of us want to acknowledge where we're coming from because that feeling of separation that we have internally, we're afraid it might manifest externally and push us even further from people. We're afraid people will look at us like, what are you complaining about? Like, what more do you want? What's wrong with you? The truth is, nothing's wrong with you. We are increasingly more isolated as a species. Every study confirms this. It's just an undeniable reality. And with AI and social media going where it's going, this is only going to get worse from here unless we do something about it. And that's the key. It's not going to right itself. It's not just a season that we're going to snap out of. We have to approach it with some intentionality. See if you can relate to this. I have a close friend who I don't get to see often at all. And we text back and forth. Occasionally, we'll call each other just to check in. And the message is usually, hey man, we gotta get together soon. And when he sends it, I know he means it. And when I send it to him, I can only assume he knows that I mean it as well. But soon is just a code word for good luck because we're busy. Stuff is always going on. We got kids and priorities and all the stuff that happens in life. The other day, I went to send that familiar message. We have to get together soon. And I stopped myself. And here's what I sent instead. I said, all right, here's the deal. Pick a date in the next 2 weeks to get together and grab a drink. Send. Not we need to, not it'll be nice when. Pick a date in the next 2 weeks. And here's what happened. He immediately texts back, sounds good. He gave me the dates. We made it happen. It was much needed and long overdue. But the most powerful part of this is what he told me when we were together. He told me that just a few days before I sent that text, he lost his oldest friend in the world. I'm talking about somebody he met in kindergarten, somebody he grew up all the way through high school with and died unexpectedly. He saw my text and he thought about the temporariness of life, that every single one of our relationships have an expiration date, and it lit a fire in him. Let's make this happen. Let's actually do this because there's gonna come a time when I'm gonna text you or you're gonna text me and nobody's gonna be there to answer. And I know that sounds morbid, but it's painfully true. So here's the action. Send that text. Don't wait. Put a timeline on it and send it today before you put your head on the pillow tonight. Take it from me. You have no idea how much it might mean to the person who receives it. And can we be honest? You need it just as much. So we talked about 3 men. One who can't move, one who's always on the move and feels nothing, and one who is surrounded by people and still feels alone. Now, on the surface, these look like 3 separate problems, but they're not. They're 3 symptoms connected to the same issue. 3 things a man needs in order to feel whole. 1 is the capacity to trust myself to take action. 2 is the felt sense that my action actually has a purpose, that it means something. And 3 is knowing that I don't act alone, that I belong. These issues, the stalled man, the empty winner, the island, are symptoms of someone who is disintegrated. I don't know which one resonates with you, maybe more than one, but I've given you 3 things that you can do today to start moving towards wholeness. Try out the GROW method. Get clear on those 3 purpose questions and send that freaking text today. Don't wait. Take action. And if you know someone else who could use this message, why don't you send this video to them? It might be the most important thing you do today.